Chelsea Football Club have one of the best academies in the world. Cobham produces absolute ballers, but more importantly, are these ballers good enough to come into the first? We're going to look at the best ballers produced in the last 12 years coming out of Cobham. We're going to make a start in Excel, and more importantly, we're going to focus on the ones where they've moved on, how they've done, and have Chelsea missed out on the opportunity on saving a heck of a lot of money? Or is the program the way it is correct? Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View, guys. After the video that was an absolute success, the 2030 project that Todd Bowley and co are trying to do, if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. It will be pinned at the end of the video. It basically defines what the project is and what Chelsea are trying to achieve by 2030, and Cobham is integral to it. The 5-point plan of Cobham is in there. Today, we are going to break down the players that have left or the players that are still here that have made Cobham as special as it is and in demand the way it is. People around the world look at Cobham and go, wow, that is a production line, that is a system that is sustainable, and we want to emulate it. We want to copy it. We want our academy to be like it. But before we move on, I need you lot to hit the like button. This video took a lot of time, all right, to edit, to research, and more importantly, to produce. So I would really appreciate it if you do that. Subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content, and finally, share it with your friends. This is a video that you can watch in 3 years' time, a video you can watch in 5 years' time, or a video you can watch next week. So please share it. It's an ageless video. I'd really appreciate it. Let's move on. Before we get started with the players, let me give you the quick categories of what I found out from a high-level overview. We are amazing at developing defenders, world class. I genuinely think we produce some of the best talent in the world in the defenders category. The midfielders, very good to average. Strikers and forwards, we're lacking in that area. Goalkeeper, absolutely horrendous. But now let's get into the lineup, and now let's break it down. When I tell you goalkeeper was slim picking, I genuinely mean it was slim. There was hardly anyone to pick from. Our production of goalkeepers has been beyond horrible. I remember we had Baxter, we had Bolka, and then we had Jamal Blackman. The one individual that went on to achieve a certain element of success anywhere, in my opinion, is Jamal Blackman. Jamal Blackman came out of the same youth cohort as Ruben Loftus-Cheek, for Kyle Tomori, Tammy Abraham, and was somebody that was pivotal in achieving success. However, and this is a big however, he's never replicated it at first team level, nor has he had the opportunities with his injury levels. The man had a very good stint under Bielsa, and as he was about to become the #1, got on a broken leg, and his career just went to the side. Since then, he's been to LA, played for LA Galaxy or LAFC if I'm not mistaken, and come back to the championship, and now he's languishing around about championship League 1 level. That's the goalkeeper, and in my opinion, we've been abysmal at developing goal. Now looking at the defenders, and we've been absolutely world class at developing top defenders. I don't care what anyone says, I will put Cobham's best projects from defense up against any other youth academy for the last 12 years, 15 years. Let's start with the right back position. Not only have we developed Tariq Lamptey, who had to move on, we developed Tino Livramento, but the best one, Reece bloody James. Reece James is absolutely phenomenal in every single way. He is world class already at the age of 23, 24. He is actively a player that if he goes on the market tomorrow and demands to leave, there will be Real Madrids, there'll be Barcelonas, there'll be Juventuses, Bayern Munichs, Uniteds, Cities, Liverpool, Arsenals queuing up, ready to pay £120 million for him without blinking twice. Arguably top 3 right backs in the world, Reece James is a certainty for that position. You look at the centre backs. The centre backs, we have been very good at developing. You can look at it as at the big picture, or you can look at it small. Fikayo Tomori went on to Milan, is a sample piece at the heart of their defence. He is literally critical to everything good they do, and their Serie A winning league title, first time I think in 12 years, Fick was at the heart of it. Mark Guehi has moved to Crystal Palace and is a proven Premier League player to the point where they're asking for £50 million to get him out of the club. And now we look at the 2 players that, in my opinion, we've developed and they've become even better. Levi Colwill is arguably one of the best young centre-halves in the world. He has already proven himself at Brighton. He has proven himself at the under-21s championships. And more importantly, he has proven it by just level of clubs that are looking at him. Manchester City is waiting to offer him a new contract. Liverpool are willing to go as high as £60-70 million. We've got other clubs around the world that have put him on on the touted list, and Chelsea are going to offer him a big boy contract and give him assurances that he will be critical to our future. Levi Colwill, left centre back. And on the right hand side is arguably one of the best productions since John Terry in defence for Chelsea. It is Andreas Christensen. We never appreciate Andreas Christensen, nowhere near as much as we appreciate the other youth talent that's come through this academy. The reason we don't appreciate him, I hate to say it, but I've got a feeling because he is not English. If he was English, the media would hype him up beyond compare because he's homegrown. But he is Danish, and the media doesn't have this infatuation with him. And they always perceived him as soft, weak. But reality is, he was critical in the Champions League win for Chelsea. He was critical in multiple trophies Chelsea. And he's gone on to Barcelona. And not only has he moved on and been phenomenal at Barcelona, he has moved on and been pivotal in that defense and pivotal in the dethroning of Real Madrid as champions. We're in a team that is extremely young, and he's providing a lot of experience at his own very young age. He's coming into the prime of his career, and arguably top 10 centre-halves in the world came out of Cobham. Left hand side, we've produced Ian Maatsen, we've produced Ryan Bertrand, but the best left back we have produced in a while has been Nathan Ake. A lot of people will go, what? Nathan Ake? Nathan Ake is phenomenal. Extremely versatile, went to Bournemouth not because Chelsea wanted to sell him, but because he demanded first team football. He came in and played under Conte and was actually very efficient. He had a very good moments here and there. He got himself a Premier League winners medal. He played in the FA Cup run, especially remember when he came in because Gary Cahill was suspended for the game. He was at left centre back. He was arguably our best player. He moved on to Bournemouth, moves on to Manchester City, pivotal now in their pursuit of the treble, and they have won it purely because of the fact that Pep says he has got solid form. Ake has developed as a player marvellously. I love seeing what he has become. You want him in centre midfield, in the defensive midfield position, he can do it. You want him in centre back, he can do it. You want him at left back, he can do it. All round, perfect, versatile player. And that back four for me, if Chelsea had it right now, some could argue is one of the best back fours in world football. Christensen, Levi Colwill, Ake, and Reece James, for me, very highly rated, very highly respected. And you can arguably say that is good enough to compete for a title. My personal opinion, I'd be very satisfied with that. Throughout our time as Chelsea, we've produced some very good midfielders. Billy Gilmour was one of them. Josh McEachran was decent with potential but never acquired the level. But at the same time, we've produced very good midfielders that are going to be good Premier League level players. Let's look at it from this aspect. Declan Rice has moved to Arsenal for a heck of a lot of money and would have to be in this midfield at the defensive midfield position. Whether Declan Rice is a player that I would build a team around or pay £100 million is not up for debate here. The debate is his talent level and the production of development at Chelsea, what has done for him. West Ham can take a lot of credit for him, but we'll put him into this list at the same time. On the right-hand side, I believe Mason Mount would have to be included. A lot of you are calling him Judas, a lot of you are calling him Snake, a lot of you are calling him a lot of ugly words that we will not reiterate here, but Mason Mount is a very good footballer. Mason Mount is technically, I would say, very good to above average. He is competent with his work rate. Does he believe he's better than he really is? I think he does. But does he believe that he is competent enough to be playing at Premier League level? Without a doubt, and he is. I think he's a top 6 player. I think he could be in any squad in the world and people won't blink twice. A very good option to have off the bench. Is he a regular starter? Not for me. Some managers will most probably argue that he is. And who am I to argue with some managers? They are a lot more advanced in their knowledge of football. But I'm still going to give my opinion because at the end of the day, I believe my opinion is still credible enough in the sense that I've watched a lot of football in my time. I know what a good player is and what a bad player is and what a fabulous player is. I'm not saying Mason Mount is rubbish. I think he's a good player and that's it. He's on the right hand side. In the left, we've reduced Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And I think a lot of people are going to say, Alex, he's not that great. I don't think Ruben Loftus-Cheek is anything special, but at the same time, I think he's very, very talented. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is unique. And the reason I say he's unique is because an individual that is 6'4", 6'3", should not be as explosive as he is and have the twinkle toes of a ballerina the way he does. The ability to manipulate a ball in tight areas and get in and around of individuals is very easy for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. He manipulates defenders by just gliding past them like they're not there. His dribbling ability is second to none. The areas where he, in my opinion, lacks is the production in front of goal. And that's maybe due to a lack of a role, because when he was playing under Maurizio Sarri, we were starting to see it. Confidence was there, getting into the box, ability to strike a ball, getting in the right positions for tap-ins. In a good system, I think you're going to see a lot of great stuff from Ruben Loftus-Cheek. And I felt criminal not putting him into this team. So for me, he's definitely on the left-hand side. Some notable mentions, like I said, go out to Billy Gilmore, go out to Josh McEachran. Some would even argue Nathaniel Chalobah. Otherwise, I think we've been lacking in midfield a little bit as well. The forward line has been very interesting. Some notable mentions need to go to Elise, that plays for Crystal Palace. I think he's a phenomenal player. He's going to come into his own. Maybe if I made this list a year from now, he would have been definitely starting. I think Callum Hudson-Odoi is another notable mention. He came through the youth academy as one of arguably the most talented players that Chelsea have ever produced. But his career has not developed in the way that we want to see it. But so you're going to say, Alex, who's made it into the team? Well, on the right-hand side, Jamal Musiala. Yes, he's a number 10, but I had to get him into this team. For me, Jamal Musiala is arguably the best talent Chelsea have produced since John Terry. He moved on due to a lack of an opportunity, and there were murmurs that I've heard that he was arguably going to get played right back or right wing back in the youth academy after he came back. And that was the final straw for the player. He did not want to be developed in that position. He believed he's a forward player, and he believed it was going to stagnate or even hinder his career in the long run. So the player opted to move on. And this is what I've heard personally through individuals that are close. Let's just put it this way. More importantly, who's on the left-hand side? Oh, he went to Bayern Munich and he's one of the best players arguably in the world right now, if you look at Jamal Musiala. On the left-hand side, no Hudson-Odoi, no Elise. The one that should be there is not Masunda, it's Jeremy Boga. Jeremy Boga's reputation coming through the academy was unbelievable. Jeremy Boga's talent around the world. I remember reading an article, they were talking about potential Ballon d'Or winner at times. They were saying he was on the list of ones to watch that could explode. Chelsea acquired him at a young age. He was a French under 15 international. He came across, developed himself. Now he plays for the Ivory Coast and has moved on to Atalanta. He had a very good breakout season at Sassuolo, got very good numbers and moved across to Atalanta. And him and Ademola Lookman are striking a good partnership behind Højlund, where they're coming up to the top 6 range. Is Boga the player that he was meant to be? No. But is he still a good player? I think he's a very good player. His ability to be a man of a dribble, his ability to be explosive, got a mean shot in him, and I will never forgive Gary Cahill for what he done. That red card cost the kid his opportunity. 16 minutes in, Gary Cahill gets a red. Boga's the one that gets sacrificed against Burnley, first game of the season. Subsequently, Boga gets loaned out to Rennes, and we don't see him in the Chelsea kit again. Shame, but I think this kid was absolutely stupendously talented. And finally, up front, is it Dominic Solanke? No. Is it Armando Broja? Not at the moment. There's only one right answer. Tammy Abraham. Say what you want about him. Tammy is a top 10 forward, top 10 team forward. So he could be playing at an Aston Villa. He could be playing at a Leicester City. He could be playing at an Everton. He could be playing at a West Ham. And people won't blink twice. He's very good at getting goals. Is he a player that is fun to watch? No. Is he efficient? No, not at all. Misses a lot of chances. But Tammy Abraham will have a long, illustrious career of football. Reason being, he knows where to be. He knows how to work hard for the team. And he knows how to finish opportunities when they are frequently supplied to him. And at the end of the season, when you look at him, due to his streaky nature, he's going to have around about 18 to 17 goals, and people are going to say he had a great season. So that was the number 9 we produced. Overall, what was the point of this video? The point of this video was for me to tell you guys, we've got tremendous talent that comes through the academy, but not every individual that comes through deserves to be put in the first. There needs to be a healthy balance with a healthy pathway, but at the same time, if we want Chelsea to remain competitive, I believe we do have to go onto the external market and and bring some players in. We need to import them into the team, we need to spend money, and we need to develop them internally. Evidence is there with that 2 of those players are still here, with Reece James and Levi Colwill. The rest of them, some would argue that they went on to do better things than Chelsea at this present moment in time. Some would argue that they're not good enough for Chelsea. I will argue that some of them, their careers just didn't pan out the way it was going to pan out. Just because someone's great at youth team level does not mean it directly correlates to first team football. And just because some people are average at youth team level doesn't mean that they're going to be average at first team. We need to be honest, we need to be objective, and we need to judge the players off their time in the first team. So for me, I'm very happy with keeping Reece James and Levi Colwill. I would have loved to keep Nathan Ake and Christensen. But other than that, there are no hard feelings for everyone else moving along. That's my personal opinion. Oh, and of course, Jamal Musiala is the best player on that list. He's another one that I would have missed heavily. But this was the Kavkas View. I hope you lot enjoyed this video. Share this around with your friends. Get your thoughts. Have I missed anyone? Have I forgotten about anyone? And more importantly, what would your team be in the last 15 years? Chelsea F.C. Let me know. Peace out. I'm out. I hope you enjoyed it. Oh yeah, and go watch the 2030 video.